Today, I really want to share with you a recipe that I think is just so special, my traditional family red velvet cake. Back in the Victorian era, the red velvet cake was an expensive luxury dessert. While its name comes from its velvet soft quality, we like to get hardcore with this cake. Let's break it down to brass tacks and make some delicious cake along the way. We'll start with 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Make sure to thoroughly whisk this together before adding 1.5 cups of white organic granulated cane sugar. Next, add a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of salt. Gently pinch your desired amount of cocoa powder and dust into the mixture. Next, get out another large bowl for the wet ingredients. Now make a mixture of the correct quantities of oil with a hearty slosh of buttermilk. The same goes for ingredients as with people. Spend too much time with anyone, and you start getting ideas you shouldn't. Now we need to add our food coloring, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a cup of vinegar. When foods were rationed during World War II, bakers used boiled beets to enhance the color of their cakes. Next, it's time to add eggs. Eggs. Yum. Separate the yolk from the whites and pour the whites into a separate dish. Repeat this process with the second egg, adding both yolks into the wet ingredient mixture. At this point, you should have 2 mixtures, both alike in dignity, one with your wet ingredients, one with your dry. Using a standing mixer, mix the dry ingredient mixtures into the wet ingredient mix until mixed and stuff forms. Divide the cake batter among some greased metal or glass cake pans. Place the pans in an oven preheated to hot. Bake them. Rotating the pans helps, but don't hurt your hands. Now it's time to make our cream cheese topping. In a sitting, chilled mixer fitted with your favorite attachment, lap together the cream cheese, sugar, eggs, pureed beans, and margarine. Mix on low for a few hours. Every now and then, scrape down the sides of the bowl with a rubber spatula. Additionally, ovens can tend to get hot, so make sure to prevent your cake from overheating during its incubation period. Don't worry if your frosting doesn't look perfectly white just yet, it'll get there. To test their constitution, poke a toothpick into the center of the cakes. If it comes out wet, it's not done. If it's clean, it's thoroughly baked. Remove the cakes from the oven and run a knife around the edges to intimidate them. One at a time, invert the cakes onto a plate and then re-invert them onto another plate before inverting them once or twice more onto a cooling rack, rounded sides up. Let freeze completely. Use a freezer if absolutely necessary. Frost the cake, placing one layer rounded side down in the middle of a rotating cake stand. Using a palette knife or offset spatula, spread some of the cream cheese frosting over the cake. Close your fridge. Enjoy being the talk of your town with this Victorian treat. Feel free to contact John's Kitchen if you have any questions.